Senior political analyst Brit Hume is here tonight. Good evening, Brit. What do you make of all this today?
Well, I think it was interesting that the leadership in the Democratic Party in the Congress jumped on her with both feet, really, and got her to issue what she called an unequivocal apology. The question remains now is whether any further action will ensue. You may recall when Congressman Steve King of Iowa, a hardcore conservative who's been accused of racial insensitivity and worse, was caught in a similar situation. He was stripped by the Republican leadership of his committee assignments. This Ms. Omar now has a seat on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, which is a coveted position, as we always say, and so far no move to strip her of any of her committee assignments. And the other thing, of course, Brett, is that she did kind of equivocate on the apology when she went on to talk about how she was really being critical of the influence of lobbying. Lobbying, of course, is by another name for the petitioning of the government for redress of grievances, which is protected by the First Amendment. So one wonders how far she'll get with that.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit later in the show, we have the story from Virginia with the governor there and the blackface scandal, the lieutenant governor with allegations of sexual assault against him. You have this anti-Semitism charge, that all of things Democrats are dealing with and trying to deal with them quickly.
Well, this is one of the fruits of identity politics. When you pose as the party more sensitive to various groups, you're vulnerable to charges that you're not sensitive enough. And, of course, that's what caught Ralph Northam, the governor of Virginia, in its sights. And, of course, the Me Too movement, which is, in a sense, a form of identity politics, sensitivity toward mistreatment of women. You now have the lieutenant governor in trouble for that. And the situation in Virginia looks like one where you thought that the governor was going to be gone about 10 days ago. He looks like he's there to stay. And if he stays, it's hard to imagine that the attorney general, who would be third in line of succession, who's got the same problem the governor has about a blackface incident, why he would go. And of course, Justin Fairfax, who's accused of rape and sexual assault, is asking for a full hearing, which it's hard to imagine he won't get that at least. So it looks like he's not going anywhere for a while either. So that situation in Virginia, where it looked a few days ago like the three top Democrats in the state might go down, look like they're going to be there for a while, Brett, to me anyway.
Yeah. Your guess that anything happens with Representative Omar?
Well, I think we'll have to wait and see, but I kind of suspect that the Democratic leadership would like to leave this where it is and treat her apology as sufficient to let her remain in her committee assignments. And it'll be interesting to see whether there are further incidents of this kind or further things that she has said come to light. Something to watch for.
Britt, as always, thank you.